Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, here to do episode 3 for Obsessed with Caddy and Christy. This week we are using some really fun pattern paper. We're going to use the taxi cabs. I'm really excited about this. The polka dots and these really pretty corally colored squares. I do have the polka dot in a nice large 12 by 12 if I would like to use it, and we're only using 3 sheets because we are adding in a bingo challenge. So I haven't exactly decided which one I want to use. My option is kind of doing the single photo, buttons or flare, a free spot, 2 alphas are all about you, or I'm thinking maybe the circles, multiple photos, free spot, brads, and banner. So down the end or diagonal from the B to the O. I don't know, you guys. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to use it. I probably will do it like this. The other thing is sometimes when I deal with bingo, I literally just pick. I don't do it in any sort of formation. I literally just pick one of them from B, one of them from I, one from N, one from G, one from O. I like that because it really, really mixes things up. And I do have a lot of things that I haven't really touched yet. So, for example, let me just put this here. We'll see how long it lasts. One of them would have to be how many photos. So I'll either be using the B where it says single photo or the N where it's multiple photos. For the I, there is one that says washi tape, and I haven't used a lot of this beautiful washi yet, so that could be a good part to add into this challenge. I think I've used that one sheet for the very first episode, and I think that's all I've used. I'm pretty positive actually. So I think that will be for my eye, so I'll use washi. Let's see, the other option, 3 patterns, which we're already doing, so that's no fun. Probably the alpha, maybe I'll do 2 alphas. That would be a good one for the G, so that's done. Oh, my options are flowers, wood, chevrons, patterned background, or all about you. So I could do a layout about myself. That is very possible. A few other things I want to kind of maybe incorporate are, I do have these black varnish stickers I haven't really touched, so I'd like to use those. I haven't even opened these numbers, so maybe if there's something I can do with the numbers in some way, I could think about doing that. And I barely touched the ephemera, so I would like to dig into my ephemera a little bit here. And again, I barely have touched my sticker sheet. I don't even think I've touched the sticker sheet, so there you go. I've used a couple little pieces from here, so it's always good to use that. I can maybe pull from my title from here, but I've taken advantage of this alpha. You've seen me use it, and I've painted on it both times with different colors. Chances are you're going to see that again because I love to do that. And I'm kind of deciding that I had so much fun doing it where I've done the white background, stitching in black, that I'm going to keep that repeating for these last 2 episodes as well, so you will see that happen as well. But that's what I am starting with, and I still have this little sheet that I used from the last episode, perfect journaling spot, so I might pull that in as well. But that's what I've got going on, so let's see what I can create. So I'm starting off with showing you that I've already done this stitching in the black like I mentioned I was going to. I'm really loving this theme. I also had this mixed media page I had done off screen just playing around a couple weeks ago, and I really wanted to play off of that and use that as part of my bingo challenge, as one of the things I picked was to use red. And so what I'm going to do here is take a little bit of that first pattern paper that's part of the 3 that we're using for this week and make that a little bit more of so it's like a double border, and then butt the mixed media pattern paper to the edge there. So you're only going to see that really pretty polka dot on the side. of two sides, and I really actually like that. I'm then going to take that polka dot from the 6x6 pad and the smaller sheet and use it to back my photo, and I'm loving this. I'm also showing you that I kind of came up with this idea because I was looking at that second piece of pattern paper there and thought, oh, I kind of have something that's a little bit like this. Why don't I pull it and see if it works well? And I really love the way that looks as well. And I did kind of just randomly place a few of those little squares. I just cut a little chunk, 2x2 chunks, and just kind of cut them. And then you see that I cut out that little yellow taxi cab, and I'm just going to place that at the very bottom of my layout. In the end, I do end up adding 2 more of them so that they're a little bit more prominent, but the taxi cabs don't have a lot to do with this layout because I don't take a taxi to drive, so I still wanted it in there though so you could see the car. Now I am also going with the idea that I want to use some washi. So I had this one piece. I've used this on another layout. I'm going to put a little bit at the top here and then add a little bit at the bottom in the yellow, and I'm also going to go back in and grab some of the teal, and I really love the way that this looks. Because I did the mixed media in some shades of red and pink, it kind of just blends itself in, but it's neat. It's a little pop of color that you probably wouldn't be expecting, but using the yellow as the taxi cab, so you have to have a little bit of yellow somewhere. It's kind of a fun little pop and an unexpected color to just use on this layout. So I really, really enjoy the way that that turned out as well. I knew I wanted to use that teal piece left over from my last episode for my journaling spot, so I'm just going to kind of line that up with my photo, knowing that's basically exactly where that's going to go. I'm going to go back in thinking about grabbing that second piece of washi. So I'm kind of looking through here, and I'm like, yep, I think I'll grab some of that teal. Just bring in, it's within the polka dot, so I wanted to bring it in just a little bit, and you know me in teal. Every layout I use has to have a little bit of teal somewhere. So I placed that at the bottom as well. I also placed it as a photo corner at the top, and again in the middle with that yellow right there. But then I add just a little tiny bit that had kind of fallen off, and I place that in the corner. So now there's a visual triangle of the teal washi tape, which really subtle, but you know me and my visual triangles. Anything I can do to make them, I will. I'm really obsessed with those for some reason. And I've come back, kind of decided on what I want to do with my embellishments. I grabbed this rail pass because I have to pay for a toll to cross this bridge that I'm talking about. I thought that was fitting. I'm also adding that little gold scallop there, one of those hearts that I had cut out from the very first layout for this series. And I'm going to use one of these clear stickers. I told you I was determined to use one, and I'm going to. I'm going to trim it, however, as I don't need it to say, oh baby. I'm just going to use the words, it's a wild ride. So I'm just going to trim it. I put the oh baby back in, and if I can use that for another layout down the road, I will. But I love that, and again, there's a pop of black up there, so there's colors coming in everywhere I need to. I'm simply titling this I Drive This, and the yellow that I'm using for the I have this really awesome pen. It's a Sharpie pen that is gold. So when you color it, it turns whatever it is that it was, as long as it's not a really dark color, but it will turn it gold, and it was the same kind of coppery gold as the other embellishments that I was using, so it worked perfectly, and I love how that happened to work. I was a little leery, but it did work out really well. So I'm going to go in, do my journaling, place down my title, and do the date stamp off screen because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to say. I did add the word everyday because this is something I do a lot. And then as I start tracing, I realize to kind of help highlight some of the elements, I just wanted to, with my black Sharpie, go ahead and trace a few little things, all the gold elements basically, and that heart down at the bottom. I just wanted to help make them stand out. Something to make your eye move throughout the page. Because of the fact that I did stitching with that fun pattern that's in the background, it just needed a few more pops of black as well. You'll also see, I'm not sure if I do this on camera, but I do also trace the journaling square as well with my black Sharpie so that there's just a bunch of different places here. And with that, ooh, I knocked over my camera. Sorry about that. So I'm pretty sure I'm done here. I'm going to just add in some splatters. let me tell you how scary this was. So it was pretty minimally embellished layout. I didn't do a whole lot of embellishing, as you can see, but I liked it. I still wanted a few extra little black dots. So I'm taking my shimmers. I'm doing the normal sprinkle thing with my, that's in my comfort zone. I don't mind doing that. But I'm also going to dip it and squish it and make splatters. And I'm so nervous about doing this. But I really like how it turned out in the end, especially those first two. You're going to see me do this last one. And I do not like the way that one turned out. It was too dark and it just didn't work the way I wanted to. So what I end up doing here is I go and I dab everything with my little thing that I do off camera. Still not liking it, so I'm going to take a few of the hearts from the clear sticker sheet and just add those for the final touches. And with that, you're going to see the end of my layout here. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a little bit different for me. Don't forget to go to check out Caddy and what she did with her bingo challenge. This is always so fun. And I think it was fun to only use 3 different pattern papers this time too. That was kind of a fun change as well. So please don't forget to go check out her take for this week, and we will be back in 2 weeks with our last episode for Obsessed for a little while. We're going to wait for my baby to be born, and then we'll be back hopefully early June with another episode. So thanks everyone for all of your support, and again, just enjoy. I do think I come back live to explain things a little bit better and how I do my bingo. So hang tight for that as well, because that should be up in just a second. Hey everyone, so I just wanted to go over the final little bit and show you what I ended up doing. So I kind of jumped around. I started by doing a layout all about myself. So this is my drive into work. So that's O. I did the O there. For the G, I took it as doing the mistings or inking. So I had this pattern paper that I had for a while. I was playing around with it, just kind of seeing what kind of colors I could come up with, so to speak, and that's what had come with it. So I just used that piece because I was ready to use it in the reds, which is where I got the I. So the I is to use red, so I used different bits of red. I also used washi from that same one. So I took on 2 of the I's instead of using an N, because the end there was a free spot, so instead of using the free spot, I just used 2 I's instead. And then finally with the B, I used the single photo. So that is the way this layout turned out. I am in love with the way it turned out. It's so very different than something I normally do. I don't do heavily mixed media layouts. So it was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed watching the process, and I'll be back again soon to do the last episode for this series. Thanks everyone. Bye.